Oh man, it's been like 2 weeks since I posted a video. Yeah, my viewers are gonna kill me. Ranking 21Pilots albums. Post Vessel. This should be fun. So this order is gonna go from 5 to 1, with 5 being the worst, relatively, and 1 being the best. Number 5. Man, this is really hard, actually.
Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young.
Okay, I know I might get skinned alive for this opinion, but I'm trying to base it based off of objective as possible measurements. Personally, Blurry Face is my second favorite, if not my most favorite album by 21Pilots in general. But for the sake of the tier list, I will put it at number 5. Here's why. So, Blurry Face, from my understanding, was, I think, 21Pilots' first attempt to take the struggle of Tyler Joseph's mental health from outside forces, sort of like what we saw in Regional at Best's Guns for Hands. And they really seem to try to personify this character for all the insecurities and anxieties about going from, you're kind of an adult, but you're still a kid, and you're just kind of goofing around, to actually having to take life seriously. So, to not spoil it, I will just simply say that I highly recommend most people listen to Blurry Face. But, that said, I'm placing it at number 5 because I think the other 4 albums on this list are better, in some sense, starting with Intentions. Holy smokes, my friend Clancy's gonna kill me. So to contrast extremely sharply with Blurry Face, we move on to Breach, which is the most recent release by 21Pilots. Now, why I put Breach at number 4 on this list isn't because it's a bad album. I think it is an extremely well done album. I think all of these are very well done albums, and each serve their own purposes. But it's probably because it's at a point that I haven't quite gotten to yet in my own life. Because whereas, Blurry Face was more of the starting off bit, trying to find your own place in the world, and with all the doubts and insecurities that you can face, Breach is more of coming to terms with what's happened. Coming to terms with yourself and with your history and your circumstances. Seriously, my friend's gonna kill me. Honestly, this is probably in my top 3 of personally, when it comes to 21Pilots albums. I sincerely enjoyed this album very thoroughly, especially Cottonwood. And Intentions. Man, Intentions cut to the bone. But it almost felt like a kiss goodbye more than, and sort of like a final, like, installation to the series, which it is. Then, instead of going through stuff with us, it felt like, hey, I've gotten, I think, to the other side. Come with me. Right. I just haven't gotten there yet. So for that reason, despite the music being very good, I'm gonna put it at number 4. They also didn't have music videos for most of them, and the ones they had were either really good, like City Walls, or they were kind of nauseating, like The Contract. I didn't really like that video. But anyways, on to number 3. finally, we moved on to number 3, the album that everyone loves to hate, Scaled and Icy. See what I did there? Now I get it. I used to be part of the crowd that really did not like Scaled and Icy, but after re-listening to it, considering it's actually my friend Clancy's, I think it's, last time I checked, it's his favorite album, since Blurry Face. I'm not sure about favorite overall, but at least since Blurry Face. So, me, coming from the camp that didn't really like Scaled and Icy, I went and re-listened to it. And I gotta say, I kind of get it now. Okay, so for those of you who haven't listened to all of 21Pilots' music, or at least since Blurry Face, like I have, Scaled and Icy is one of the most controversial, not because it's like political or stuff, just controversial in the community albums that 21Pilots has released. A lot of people, like myself included at first, kind of saw it as a little strange, has a very different sound than what we had gotten accustomed to with Blurry Face and Trench, which will come up here shortly. But now that I've listened to it again a couple times, it's with the exception of a couple songs. Like I'm speaking for the vast majority of songs in the album. There are exceptions in each of the albums where there's like a different feel for like maybe 2 songs, but generally throughout Scaled and Icy, it's sort of this social barrier, this sort of shield, where he kind of masks having any problems at all. Now, if you follow the lore and the DEMA stuff, he was, captured by the bishops of DEMA and the whole... Y'all don't need to know about that stuff yet. From a very basic perspective, it's him kind of masking his problems so that the world doesn't see them. But he's still fighting it on inside, trying to kind of use that as a coping mechanism. And it doesn't really work. Now, where do I get this idea of what the album's like from? I mean, you see it in songs like Choker. What is a person who's called a choker? Someone who chokes on their words, someone who is afraid to speak up about things for whatever reason, typically insecurities. So I think it's a really solid album. It's not my favorite, but it's a very solid album, and it serves a really good purpose. But I do think the last 2 are better, at least in my experience and from my vantage point, which we'll get on to now. I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going. Now, before you raise up the call to crucify me for putting this album at number 2, let me be very clear. I wanted to put this at number 1. It was a really tough choice, but I had to put this at number 2 because the last one is just so powerful. Okay. Now, Trench, I know, is generally recognized as possibly the best 21Pilots album ever by, frankly, a majority, like an overwhelming majority of Clickies or 21Pilots fans. But I couldn't see myself putting it at number 1, only for the fact that what I will put in number 1 has affected my life personally and the lives of others, and it's just had such profound depth and meaning. Now, what I will say that is good about Trench is that it's kind of an encouragement. It's like it is introduced the whole rebellion arc in the DEMA story. It's like cries and like rallying cries of rebelling and breaking free from bondage to yourself, if that makes sense. And man, was this such a really good album. And if it wasn't for the last album on my little tier list of sorts, I would put it at number 1, but I just simply can't. So why can't I put it at number 1? Because this album exists. This one right here. I mean, come on, it would practically be a crime for me not to put this album at number 1. Now, the song I shared with Static, a great friend of the community, was from this album. So basically in the storyline, Clancy and the Banditos are at their closest point ever to actually defeating DEMA and breaching the city walls. Hint, breach. Hint. Now, one of the things I also really like about this album is that they made a music video for every single song, which is some serious dedication. They're all pretty good too. This album hosts some of the heaviest hitters of 21Pilots songs. I'm talking At the Risk of Feeling Dumb, Next Semester, which is a song about getting over stuff you can't control. You have so many great songs. Routines in the Night is also on this album, and there are like others that I just slipped from the top of my head. Backslide, that's what I was trying to think of. Don't you love the magic power of editing? And the whole album ends with Paladin Straight, which is just very, very well kind of flows into the first song of Breach. Literally, the ending of Paladin Straight is the beginning of Breach. And it's feeling like finally I'm getting some traction. I can't give this up. And sort of that burning desire to finally get somewhere, to get some traction, to move on from things, while also not wanting to go back, having that fear that how long is this gonna last type of thing. Now, obviously, this video isn't meant to be an exhaustive list of every reason why I put these albums in this particular order. It's just meant to give you a sense of my general opinion for people who've already listened to the music, and also sort of a little nudge, hint, nudge, to people watching this who haven't listened to 21Pilots to like what are you waiting for? Listen to their music. Anyways, I can expect probably like 50 DMs from Clancy tomorrow morning telling me how blatantly wrong my opinions are. Oh yeah, and because I edited bits of songs, like 3 seconds worth of songs, into the in-between bits, for copyright reasons, I have to explain very thoroughly that I do not own any of the music that's used in this video. All of this music belongs to 21Pilots and their label, Fueled by Ramen. I don't own any of it, and this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. Once again, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. You got that? But seriously, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Okay, fine, you know the words. Now get out of here. Bye.